In this video, I'm gonna go through with you guys on our first homework assignment for the semester. So for this homework, we have some steps that we need to follow here, so I'm gonna go through with you guys step by step. So the first one would be the levels. As you'll see here, we'll have 3 levels in our project. As soon as we open Revit, the template I gave you guys, you see that we have only 2 levels. We see level 1 and level 2, and when we go back here, we see that we have 1 extra level. The level roof, and its height is 20 feet. So if we go to our project, we can open any of the elevations. So for instance, I can select one elevation and copy, or I can just press CO. So I'll press CO as in copy and move it up here. You can move it to like a random height for now, and then I'll click here to edit, and then I'll type 20. So we see that the name is level 4, but we actually want it to be roof. Okay? So as soon as we create it, we see that our new level is not available in our floor plans, and this is because we need to add the floor plan here. So we're going to go to the View tab. We're going to click on Plan Views, Floor Plan, and we select Roof. Okay? And then it shows up here. So if we go back to the elevations, previously this icon right here was black, and now it's blue. That's because we have our roof added to our floor plans. Okay? So that's all we need to do for the first one. So the second topic is the walls. So we need to model the walls according to the attached drawing in the end of the assignment. And if we scroll all the way down, we can see how the wall should look like here. Okay, so this is what we're going to have to do. But before we start modeling the walls, it is important to create the wall types that we're going to need. So we have external walls and we have internal walls, the interior walls. Okay, so for the external walls, we'll have a thickness of 8 inches, and it should look like exactly like this. Okay, and we're going to have a membrane layer with your name and a thickness of 0 inch. Okay, so going back to Revit, we're gonna go back and forth here just because we need to see what material and thickness of each material we need for our wall. So if we go back here to Revit, I'm going to go to my level 1, and if I go to the Architecture tab, I have the option here, Wall, and you can see the shortcut is WA. So I'll just press WA in my keyboard, and I have some options of walls here. So I'll just select any type of wall for now, and before I actually start modeling, I need to edit its type. So I'll click here, and on Structure I click on Edit, and now it opens up for me the materials and thicknesses of the elements I need. Okay, so for the first one, I'll click here, and if we go back, we see that the first one is wood siding, and we'll have to look for it here. If you don't have this material in your project, we will have to create a new material. Okay, so I'll select wood siding, and its thicknesses is 3/4 of an inch. So I need to press 0 space 0 space 3/4. Okay, so that means the first 0 is for feet, then for inches, and the fractional inches. Okay, now I need to insert a material, but you see that the wood siding is at the top up here, so that means we need to move this new material down. So I'll just select it, it's selected, and I'll press down. So the second one is plywood sheathing. So let me click here and type plywood. Okay, let's see what's the thickness, the same, 0.003/4. Okay, now I'm going to create a new layer with my name on it. Let me see if I have this material here. I do not. So I'll have to create a new material. I'll click here and create new material, and I'll go to the Identity tab, and I'll change the name, and you're going to insert your name right here. Okay, not my name though, your name. Then I'll just give it a color that's not the default color. Let's say blue. Okay, going to use the render appearance, and I'll set OK. Alright, and this set of structure is going to be a membrane layer. Okay, let's see what else we have here. Metal stud layer and gypsum wall board. Okay, I'll insert two more, and these will go down. So this will be metal stud layer. There we go. Its thickness is 6 inches, so 0 space 6. And the last one is the gypsum wall board, which is ½ inch. Okay, so let's click here. Gypsum wall board 0, 0, 0.5. Okay, and you see that the core boundaries are just above and below the metal stud layer, so that means we need to keep on moving our materials up and down until only the metal stud layer is in between them. Okay, so I'll click OK, and this is actually not the generic 6 inch, this will be our exterior wall. Okay, and we see here it's 8 inches, that's good. Okay, now I'm going to create the next one, which is the internal wall. So I'll click again on edit type, but instead of modifying this one, I need to duplicate to create a new one. Okay, otherwise I'll just override just the wall I just created. So internal wall. Let's see the materials we have. Pretty easy, we just have gypsum, metal stud layer, and gypsum back again. So I'll just delete this one, and this one. I'll create a new one. And our metal stud layer now is 5 inches. Let's select gypsum wall board. Okay, 0, 0.5. Okay. So after I have my wall types ready, I'm going to start modeling our walls. So I'm going to the Architecture tab and press Wall, or just use the shortcut, and I'll select the exterior wall to model the walls around our house. So before I start, I like to use the location of the line as the wall center line. Okay, just because if we need to flip the walls later on, it's easier. Let me show you guys what I mean. When I create my wall, any wall for example, and I don't know which side is the exterior or interior wall, interior side I mean, so if I change the detail level to fine and the graphic display options to shaded for example, you see that the red layer is towards the top. That's the exterior side. So as a hint, whenever you select your wall, you see the arrows here. So the arrow is always on the exterior side of your wall. If you want to flip this wall, you just need to press space, okay, or click on the arrow, and you see that it's going to change the side of the wall from interior to exterior and vice versa. And something that I also like to do in Revit is when I'm modeling and I need to pay attention at the details, I select this option up here, thin lines. Okay, you see that there is like a very thick black line. If I choose this option, if I click on it, all of the thick lines are going to become thin. Okay, so back to our assignment. So the first wall is 18 feet and 7 inches, so I'm going to click on the wall and do 18 space 7. And you see that as we model, the dimensions are not going to be exactly what we want just because of the thicknesses of the wall. You'll see later, but it's pretty easy to adjust it. So I'm going to keep on creating the walls. 18 space 6, and it goes in 6 feet. Okay, so I'm modeling this part here now. And this part here, let's see, 3 6, 3 space 6, and then it goes this way, 11 6. Okay, and this part goes up 12 6, and then these two meet here. And the dimensions are probably not 100% right. Okay, when I click here, for example, you see it's 17 11, so I want this to be 18 7. Okay, so when I select this wall and I change this dimension here, for example to 18, you see that the wall that moves is the one that is selected. So if I select this wall and click here, for example, to be 7, this wall is not going to move. The wall that's going to move is the wall that is selected. Okay? So let's see, this is right. 18, 7, not yet. 18, space 7. And if you want to double check your measurements, you can always use the DI command, which is the same as going to the, let's see, annotate tab and aligned. So you can click here and double check your dimensions. Okay, okay, 18.7 is correct, and let's see, this needs to be 3 6. So when I select this wall here, this dimension becomes active, so I can do 3 6, and this one needs to be, this wall is going to move 11 6. You see that this wall is not correct. We need to flip it, so we need to select it and press space. Okay, the right side needs to be the exterior side. Okay, so I'm going to keep doing this, and then I'm going to pause the video and come back once everything is done. Once my exterior wall is created, now I'm going to create the interior wall. So I'll press WA as in wall, and I'm going to select my interior internal wall. Okay, then we see here 11 9. Sometimes Revit gives you some temporary dimensions that you can make use of it. Okay, just create it here, and then I can select it and change this to 11 9. You see that here these two elements are not quite aligned, so there's an option here that I can use. If I go to the Manage tab, let me maximize here. It's actually the Modify tab, and there is an option here that you can use, Align. You see the shortcut is AL, so I'm going to press AL, and what do I need to do now? So if you read down here what Revit tells you, please select line or point reference for alignment. So I'm going to select this line, and now select an entity to align. So I'm going to click on this wall, and you see that the wall is going to move down here. This is a very useful tool in Revit that you need to make use of it a lot. Okay, and another tool that I want to show you guys is the Trim Extend. Okay, if I want to join these two walls, instead of clicking and dragging it down, which is an option, you can also press this tool or the shortcut TR. So press TR, click on one wall and on the next one, and then they automatically are joined. Okay, and then I'll keep doing that now, following the assignment. I'll just use the dimensions to double check my work. Okay, and 2 6, I'm going to create it, and then this is 2 space 6, and I'll have a wall going here, and then this I'll modify as being 6. Okay, I'm going to use the tr command again. Alright, and then just like that I'll keep going and finish the modeling of the walls for the forest floor. After it's done, one way we can check is, instead of creating multiple dimensions, you can just create one, and you can select it, and then you can edit witness line. When you do that, you're able to create multiple dimensions in a project. So let me delete this one, and then I'll edit the witness line, and I'll click on every single wall face in my project. Okay. And sometimes you might notice that the dimensions are all bunched up here. One thing we can do is, for now, we can just change the scale. Okay. And then to a scale that is easy for you to read, and the dimensions don't overlap each other. If they do, you can select it and just drag it out like this. Alright. So, and then now we're going to go to level 2. And there is a trick that I want to show you guys here now. So if you go to level 2, we don't see anything, right? However, if we select here, let's see, the option underlay. So pay attention on this option right here. So select it as none. However, if I select level 1, I can see the walls that are underneath level 2, which is level 1. So I can use this wall to model my new walls, okay, just as a reference. However, one thing that I like to do with all the projects I use in Revit is whatever is in level 1 that's going to be repeated on level 2, I can copy and paste. So what I'll do is I'll select my walls. What I'm doing right now is I select the first one and I hold Control. That allows me to select multiple objects, and I'll click here on Copy to Clipboard, and I'll paste. I'll align to select the levels, and I'll select the level 2. When I go to level 2, my walls are here. Okay? Okay, now I don't want to see what's underneath my level 2 anymore, so I will go back to the underlay option and I'll select none. Okay? And I'll just do the same thing that I did with level 1, and I'll keep modeling my walls on level 2, and I'll get back to the video once I'm done. Now that I've finished modeling my walls, let's go back to the assignment and see what's the next step. Okay, now we have to create our floors, okay? Which is basically the same thing we were doing before with the walls, okay? I have a floor type here that I'll need to create. So the wooden floor, we have the wooden floor, bathroom floor, exterior floor, and concrete floor, and you can see here in the drawing where you should apply each one. Okay, so I'll start with the wooden floor. So if I go to my level 1, for example, I'll go to architecture, and then I'll hit floor, which I'm not sure if we can see it here. Okay, it's here, floor. So before I start modeling my floor, I'm going to create the floor type that I need, that it's here. So I'll click on Edit Type, and I'll duplicate this floor type. It will be my wooden floor, okay? And I'll edit structure, let's change to oak flooring. Okay, my thickness will be 0, 0, 1.5. I'll insert 3 more layers. And these will go down as well. This will go down, up, up, up. Since this is the same process as the wall, I'll just skip this part, and once I have all the floor types ready, I'll come back. After we have all of our floor types ready, we're going to go back to the drawing and see where we need to apply those floors. Okay, so let me quit this patch, and then I'll click again on floor, and I'll select my wooden floor for now, and then I'll select the boundary of my building to insert the wooden floor. Okay, so let me maximize here for a second. And there are some tools here that you can use to draw your floor. So you can use the line. However, you see here that we have multiple layers, so you want to click on the outer layer. And to avoid any misclicking in between layers, I'll just change the detail level from fine to coarse. Okay, and instead of creating line by line, there is a tool here that's very useful that's called pick lines, that I use it every time I'm going to create a floor. So I'll select it, and then I'll just click on the boundaries. Okay, so after I select all of them, I'll select it. You see here that we have our bathroom floor. So I'm going to create lines inside my bathroom floors, because these floors here are not going to be wooden floors, they're going to be bathroom floors. And then I'm going to press, remember we saw before, we go to the modify tab and the TR option, trim/extend. So I'm going to press TR and click on the lines like this to join them. And join elements, okay. I'm going to select these lines back again. Just like that. And then if I hit OK right here, lines cannot intersect each other. These two are selected. Continue. Let's see. There are probably two lines somewhere. Oh yeah, there was a line there. One extra line. I'll hit OK. And this is my floor, my wooden floor. Okay. If I change the detail to realistic, we see how it looks like here. Okay. I'll change it back to coarse and shade it for now, and I'm going to create the bathroom floor right here. Floor, I'll select bathroom floor, and then I'll just do the same thing we did before. TR to join the lines. It's okay. TR, and I'm going to hit OK. And here's my bathroom floor. Okay, let's see, we have our exterior floor out here. And then let's go to floor again. And now we'll select the exterior floor. And this time I'm going to use the line. So for now I'm just going to do that, and then we'll adjust later. Okay, I'm going to click selecting the boundaries of the floor. Alright, so this distance needs to be 14 feet, as we see down here. 14, okay. And this, let me actually move this reference line. Oops, that's not what I needed to do. Let me create a dimension here in between the floors, the lines, I'm sorry. Then I can edit this to be 24, okay. And this is 14, that is correct. Then I'm going to hit OK. There is another exterior floor out here that I'm going to create again. And for this I can use the command rectangle. And that's all. So that's all we need for level 1. Level 2 is very similar. So if I go to level 2, I'm going to set the detail to coarse and shade it. And I'm going to create another floor, which is the wooden floor. Okay, and I'm going to select the pick lines option again. Here, here, and here. As we can see now, I'm going to use the line here. there are no floor goes here. Okay, so I'm just going to use TR again to join the lines. And just one more thing, I'll use the rectangle right here because this is the bathroom floor. Okay, and once it's ready, I press OK. Would you like the walls to go up to this floor's level to attach its bottom? I will select no for now. And let's do the bathroom floor. And I'm going to select the rectangle option. And I'll hit OK. Nope. And the concrete floor. We see that the concrete floor is exactly the same as the exterior floor on the first floor, so I'll select the option Copy, Paste to Clipboard, and I'll paste a line, select the levels, level 2. So when I go back to level 2, it's here. I just have to select it and change it to the concrete floor. Okay? If you go to a 3D view, this is how it looks like so far. Okay? Also, we don't have to be in a floor plan to model anything. So I can copy and paste this from level 1 to level 2 into the roof level. So I'll copy this since it's the same, and I'll select level 1. I'll hold Control and click select the roof level and hit OK, and it goes up there. Okay. So when I go to my roof level, all I see is this, but it actually needs to go like on around the whole building. So I'll need to select my underlay level, my underlay to level 2, and let me edit this. And instead of having only these lines, I will click on Pick Lines, and I'll pick the exterior lines here. Okay, I'll press TR to join the lines and hit OK. And I'll select No for now. And here's how our project should look like so far. Let's see if the homework has anything else. Levels, walls, and floors. So that's it. So this is how your homework number 1 should look like.